Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the July 25th Al-Anon reading, Encouraged to Change, and a little time for myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And it will take a minute to look this over. The question is, what can I do to accept that I am worthy of love and acceptance from others? And the passage is written by a woman who came to Al-Anon after their psychotherapist suggested it. They had been involved in several relationships. All of the men used alcohol or drugs. This woman is saying that this part of the suggested closing, quote, "You'll love us in a very special way, the same way we already love you," unquote, really touched her. She felt safe and accepted and cared for. Today's reminder, the acceptance in, I almost read it. Okay, sorry. We gain comfort and strength from the acceptance and love that we find at our meetings. And the quote is from Discovering Choices, Recovery in Relationships. The unconditional love we receive in Al-Anon is fantastic. What can I do to accept that I am worthy of love and acceptance from others? What helps me is the idea of humility that I learned in Al-Anon, because it has taught me that we're all equal, and I truly believe that everyone should be accepted and loved. And since I truly believe that, logic tells me that I am part of everyone. Therefore, I am worthy of accepting. I am worthy of love and acceptance. And that's what works for me. And I do agree with wholeheartedly that Al-Anon made me feel the same way, that I felt cared for and accepted and safe. And I am guessing that it's probably a jump to say that all 12-step programs that branched off from AA, Al-Anon being one of them, is hopefully like that. And I will say that this is the first time I'm mentioning it. It's not a big deal to you, most likely. It's just, I'm just going to say it. I joined OA a week ago. And that's Overeaters Anonymous. And so I think I'm on my eighth or ninth day of abstinence. So what made me, I went to a meeting, but what made me commit to the program was the amazing feeling of being accepted, cared for, and safe. So the woman who organizes the meeting, I actually asked her to be my sponsor, because she was the contact for the meeting. It was an online meeting, and it just was, I just felt so safe and understood, and it was beautiful. And it's interesting how my experience in Al-Anon is helping me in this other program. And it's just giving me sanity around the obsession with food that I've talked about pretty openly. So I'm feeling very good. I'm feeling very good one day at a time. And I guess that's all I have to say about it right now. I just think it's interesting how I've moved from being concerned about someone who has an addiction, and yet I'm also someone with a level of addiction, which is unlike some other addictions because you need food to live. So, and I know it may be weird for people to understand. Like, I've told 4 people, and 2 of them have been supported, and both of them are Al-Anons. So, again, just because I'm not overweight doesn't mean that I don't have obsessive food thoughts and that food takes up too much of my thinking pattern. It's up to me to decide what support I need. And if you want to know more about it, you can ask me in the comments. I'm happy to share, but I don't want to bore you because this is like an Al-Anon video, not an OA video. But like, I'm following a suggested food plan. It's very, I'm finding it very easy, very manageable, something that I can maintain for the rest of my life. And I'm feeling a lot more calm. So that just fit in kind of naturally, I think, to mention that. Okay. Ooh, this has a tab and it has a highlighted section. I'm going to take a minute to read this over. This is about saying what we mean, but not saying it mean. It doesn't say that, but that's what I'm thinking of, is that phrase that I learned in Al-Anon. Saying, and it's also about boundaries. It's about saying yes when we really want to say no. Talking about the challenges of people not being happy when we say no because that's what's best for us. Today's reminder: we can make a conscious choice about what we choose to share and what we say. We should say what we mean and mean what we say. And it's especially helpful when we offer our own experience of the truth. The quote is from Woodrow Wilson. It's important that, oh, it's interesting. It says self-respect it's saying self-respect is more important than peace. It's saying the price is too expensive if the price is your self-respect. I get what he's saying. I get it. But also I think of, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? I understand in the context of this reading what this is saying. This is saying to hold our boundaries, sometimes to keep the peace, we have to choose self-respect, to keep the peace within us, because we can't control others' reactions. I guess in that context, it makes perfect sense. Woodrow Wilson, I'm just thinking, governments thinking that they've been disrespected and waging wars and sanctions on other nations because they feel disrespected. But I don't think that's what this applies to at all. So anyway, a little overthinking. The part that I highlighted was today's reminder, which in more detail says that we need to hold our boundaries with an active alcoholic. We need to choose our words very carefully, and we need to mean what we say. And it's saying we have nothing to lose by offering our own experience. And I love how it says our own experience of the truth, because when I'm talking to you, I'm talking about what I know just based on my experience. Your experience could be completely different. Every single person has their own unique experience. I always think it's so interesting that even two people can go to the same event and have different ideas if it was fun or not, based on their own likes and dislikes and things like that. And that goes with everything. So it's just important for me to remember that I don't know what other people are thinking. I can only speak for myself. I hope I've done that in this video. All right, we're going to close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. I don't know why that was so hard to say. Sending you so much love. Take care.